Hi, this is David with the Richter Scale Studios. I am back on the terrain project. As everyone you can recall, this was that inexpensive ruined terrain from eBay from Russia. And there's all kinds of controversy about who makes this, if it's Pegasus or I can't remember the name of the company, whatever it was a great deal out of the Russian Federation. They're little buildings, a little bit shorter than GW, so it looks kind of funky when you use a miniature with it. But I adjusted it to make it look like it fell off of the wall, cracked, and it was off of an explosion. And I think we're on part 8 now, or yeah, I think 8. What I was really concerned with this floor. I don't know. I like the green just to throw it off a little bit to give it a little different color, and it kind of contrasts with the terracotta coming through the walls. And what I decided to do is I took the lamp black, the Winsor Newton lamp black, and some turpenoid, the odorless turpenoid right here, and made a big wash. And as if you recall from my last video with the Orc Boys, I hit this thing with a heavy gloss varnish, aerosol gloss varnish, not an airbrush or anything. Just took it down in the garage workshop. Just wanted to see how this would work. This is a pretty strong wash, as you can see. Might thin it down a little bit, but I'll see how that works. And I think this will really make everything kind of pop a little bit more. Especially here where the crater is, you have these cracks. And there you go, look at that. So I think that's going to give us a lot more detail. And then when we take the shine off of this, I might do another dry brush or like a light green gray. Give it some more detail. And there's a little bit of, where I did the goop, there's a little bit of a brush stroke. I think we can handle that as a texture. I do like that. I think that's turning out. Oh, also comments. I really appreciate everyone's support and comments. Sometimes you have, when you're around the project too much. Obviously, this one's been going for a while. I've been sidetracked with other things. Like the paint rack thing. I'm making 2 more right now. They're in the garage. I'm going to go pick up some wood filler. I did a measurement on one of the sides of the case itself and forced it together with some drill and wood screws, but it looks a little off. And I don't think I'm going to do a tutorial on that. I'll show those when they're redone or finished. I think I'm going to do something different besides the Space Hulk look. I might do like a Imperial Guardsman one. Looks like a lot of military greens and some battle damage to it. But then again, let's just get back to this. We've got this section of the crater. Let's see how this kind of goes in. These little... And the capillary action of the oil paint is still fun. And if you make any mistakes, no big deal. We can wipe it off. Then we're going to come in with the airbrush later, and we're going to probably dust over it anyways to get that nice dusty look that, wind's been hitting it, other explosions, people trouncing around in this thing. And I think in this part of this video, this will be a section of a larger video. I'm going to model a skeleton like I did in my last piece that I sold on eBay. And I'm trying to do a bound executed guardsman. So I'm got that cooking in my mind right now. So look for that in a couple parts of this. You know how terrain can go. Well, a lot of times, you can make real quick terrain and just throw it on the table, ready to go. I like my terrain to be almost like a model. Which are models, but I just like to do as much technique on it as possible and make it as realistic as possible. When you do a great looking painting miniature and just throw it on a piece of cut up styrofoam with some craft paint on it, there's something missing. But when you do this, when you put as much effort into your terrain as you do your miniatures, it makes it that much more special on the table and that much more immersive when you're actually playing the game. I've noticed. It almost makes you feel like a kid again, like noises and stuff, like gunfire and things. Well, I am not going to bore you with doing all this, a little rant I gave you. I'm going to finish doing this wash on here, and we'll come back and clean it up a little bit and see how it looks. Let me just do a quick spin. As we have, half of this is done, some of this is not done yet. When we come back, hopefully this will really pop, and we'll go from there. Thanks for joining me. We are back. We just finished the wash. I'm going to have to clean it up eventually. It's still wet, but you can see how it brought a lot of the detail out of the tile. Remember, those are craft foam from the dollar store. I just hot glued down and painted over. And also, I really like how the crater is a lot more detailed. You can see where I did the cuts in the foam to show the expanse of the ground lifting up from the explosion. And that gives it a little more plausibility. And also, inside the building itself, there's very little detail. I just put some rubble piles and some flooring and a little bit of just extra detail. And washed around it made them pop a lot. And I think I'm going to go in there with maybe do a lighter dry brush through here and then tone it down a little bit so you have that shadow from the overhang still. And give that a little more detail. But overall, I think it's coming out pretty good. I will come back in a while. I'm going to let this dry for a bit, then do the old makeup sponge and Turpenoid to clean off some of the surfaces. You can see where it like collected some black. That gloss varnish is very good stuff, especially the aerosol stuff, and it is almost like a plastic sheen over it. And when you hit it, you get into the grooves, but also over flowed onto the rest of the model itself. Also, I had so much wash left. I went through the rubble piles again, just to give more, level of detail, more pop. Obviously, that's going to be dry brush. And I love the look of nice dusty rubble. Adds so much to the model. Just a little bit on the outside here. Obviously, the walls, these are done. I'm probably going to go back with a little bit of scorch with the transparent blacks and browns on the airbrush. That'll be toward like a finishing touch. And then I'm going to go in, I'll do a full probably part on mixing in Biotex and adding some acrylic ink to it. Then filling this up. You don't want not too much. You want to be able to see the detail. Because I want to do some rust details and stuff. I'm going to paint up this little chair. I still got to thank Viv from Rubbish In, Rubbish Out for that idea with the hardware cloth. That's the 1/2-inch metal with the craft foam glued to it. I just primed it real quick. It'll just give it a little extra, something to look at. How this thing looked like, one chair left over just got thrown into this pit of water and refuge. So that'll be it for right now. I will be back, and please comment, and suggestions are welcome. And please don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks.